Hey, what's going on, Rockstars? Welcome into the channel. We're going to talk about the 10 biggest reselling and online e-commerce scams for buyers and sellers today. Of course, as part of the intro promise, I said I would bring Milo along. So here he is. He just had his last round of puppy shots and vet visits today. He's a little sleepy. We're going to put him down, but he's going to be 50 pounds pretty soon. He's in his 40s now, and he gets his first grooming next week, so we're going to get him all cleaned up. I know some people said get his eyes cut and get him used to a groomer, so we went ahead and got a mobile groomer who's actually like one of the best groomers in the state, and she lives, thankfully, in our neighborhood, so she's going to come out next week. She's all booked up this week, but she's going to come out next week and get him all cleaned up and cut up, and thank you, buddy, and all taken care of. But let me give you guys an idea how big he's gotten just since the last video. Compare it. Look at him. There he is. All right, buddy, let's get down. I know, let's get down. Ooh. All right, so he is 4.5 months, by the way, in case anybody want to know. He won't be 5 months for about 2 more weeks. But let's move on. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Oh, you want your toy? He's like, give me my toy, Dad. That's how you got me up here. There you go. And 10 scams. Buyers. Blooper reel, right? 10 buyer and seller scams from eBay, Posh, Amazon, you name it. These are going to be the top 10 that you need to look out for, whether you are a buyer or a seller. I had to give him the noisiest toy ever, right? Okay, I switched this toy out to a not loud toy so he can go play with this and not interrupt the video anymore. But there he is. That's Mr. Monster. He's a little mini ninja. Mini kung fu is what I wish I knew before I got him, because that's what you need to deal with this guy. Look at him. He is a beast mode and strong as can be too already. Yeah. Okay, these will be in no particular order. Back to the video now that I've got him all chilled out where he's just hanging out. Number one is the gift card scam. I think everyone knows about the gift card scam. This is common on eBay. This is also common on Facebook Marketplace, where people will ask you if you can pay them with a gift card, to give them the gift card number, the information. They want you to go to Walmart or to your local store, buy a $50 gift card to pay them for the item, give them the gift card information, and they will even give you a discount. They'll give you a few dollars off or whatever. Anytime anyone on e-commerce, Facebook, eBay, Amazon, it doesn't matter where it is, tells you that something involving a gift card, it is a scam. Run away, delete them, block them, do not answer them. If somebody tells you they're going to give you $1 million worth of gift cards, it's a scam. There's no $1 million. Don't let your greed get the best of you, because it doesn't exist. There's $0. Just run away. Also, if you own legitimate gift cards and you want to sell them, do not sell them on the internet. People will buy them from you, get the gift card information, drain them, and initiate a return. Don't ever do gift cards on the internet in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you want to sell them, find somebody in your local neighborhood, your Facebook group, somebody you trust, a family member. Take it into the store and buy something, and then sell that, even if you won't get as much as what the gift card is worth. Don't sell the gift cards online. If you have to, and you absolutely must, find somebody locally who will pay you cash in your hand with real money. We'll talk about that in a minute. And that would be the only way that I would recommend it. And do it in a very safe place, because gift cards are very dangerous, very highly frauded and scammed. And the people that are in the gift card business that I see on Facebook and Craigslist, a lot of them are very shady people, and they aren't above doing criminal activity to get those cards from you, because they know they're as good as gold in your hand. So gift cards, anything to do with gift cards, almost always a scam. Return scams, prevalent on eBay and Amazon. We did a video yesterday, a TikTok, about a lady who was dealing with return abuse, and that's people doing one of two things, and we'll talk about the second side of it later in the video. But side one is they buy your brand new camera or your used camera, $300, you ship it to them. They file a claim saying, hey, this is damaged, it's not as described, this isn't what I ordered, whatever the case might be. You accept the return, they get a shipping label, it comes back to you, you open the box, and inside of it is a rock or a brick or a dirty sock or not what you sent them, right? They send you back complete garbage or an empty envelope or trash or whatever. That is a prevalent scam. So how can you fight that? I decided to make this video two-parted, where I can tell you how to avoid these scams and fight them. Now, I'm going to mention this one on eBay. It's similar for other platforms, but we'll stick to eBay on number 2. And that is, if they send you back an item that's like a brick or a bad item, what you have to do is you, A, compare the weights. Always keep the weight that you shipped out. So like if you sent a 5-pound camera and they mail you back an empty envelope, the weights aren't gonna match. The second thing you wanna do is go to IC3, the letter I, the letter C, and the number 3, ic3.gov, G-O-V, and you can file an IC3 report there. File that report. It'll ask you basic information, who you are, where you sold the item, do you have any pictures to submit, any evidence, bam. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes. Once you submit that, you will get a copy. You'll get a saved PDF or email of your case. That goes to the FBI. Now, if they do something or they don't, you may never know. They may contact you, they may not. Regardless, if you then contact eBay right away with that IC3 case, eBay will 99.99999% of the time realize that you are serious. You are probably not the one that is lying. They will take your side. They will eat it. They will refund you your money, give you the money that you should have gotten. Like let's say the person paid you $300, sent it back, and you were forced to refund them for the junk they sent you. eBay's gonna turn it back around and give you back the $300 and fight it out with the buyer. Also, of course, report the buyer directly to eBay. Use that report abuse buyer button and file that IC3. You can also, if you so incline, this is extra and you don't have to and who cares, you can file a USPS claim with the USPS through their website for somebody that has committed mail fraud, especially if it's in the hundreds of dollars. It could be a felony. So that's something you can stack on top of it. I have seen people do the IC3 and the mail fraud and contact their local police jurisdiction, get a police report, do all of that and really go after them. Would I waste my time? Probably not. I'm just gonna do enough to make sure I get my money back and I'm not out money. That's number 2 and how you fight it on eBay. Number 3 is on the flip side. What if a seller ships you something? What if you bought a camera that's supposed to be in perfect mint condition for $300 and they ship you this camera that's all jacked up and beat up and scratched and damaged and a loose button? And that's easy. On eBay, Amazon, pretty much any platform, if an item shows up and it's not as described, it's not what you bought, it's not the right model, it's damaged, it's not in the right condition, whatever the case might be on all of these platforms, you almost always can get your money back. There's a money back buyer protection built into 90%, 95% of all of these platforms if you follow their procedures and pay through their payment systems. You can file that case as item not as described, and you will need to show the evidence. Like, here it is. I bought a mint condition camera. Here's what showed up. If the seller is a shady seller and tries to fight you on it and say, that's not what I sent, they must have damaged it. That sometimes can happen and you can get into a back and forth, and I've seen it where a buyer loses out on that and the seller actually wins the case, and it was the seller that was being shady. He sent them a broken camera and tried to fight it and said, oh, the buyer must have broken the camera, when in fact they did, and that's just what you sent them. If that happens and you lose the case, I recommend always funding your transactions through eBay and Amazon, either with PayPal, which gives you a second layer. You can go to PayPal and file a case, or with a credit card like an American Express, or I use my Capital One Spark card all the time, or my Amazon Chase card. You can then file a chargeback, usually between 90 and 180 days, up to 6 months on most of them, at least 3 months, up to 6 months on most major credit cards, and they will do a chargeback and get you your money back. And that's how I recommend beating out shady sellers that might try to get away with this. The built-in money-back guarantee will side with the buyer a majority of the time if your story lines up and it's legitimate. Number 4 is the sealed box and resealed scam. This was huge on Facebook Marketplace. This also happens on some of the major platforms like eBay and Amazon. I'm selling a camera, a brand new camera that I got as a gift. I don't want it. It is sealed. It is, $600 at Best Buy, sealed. I'm gonna put it online because I just want to get some money out of it for $500. I put it on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody shows up, they meet me, and they're like, hey, I want to buy this for $500, and I sell them the camera, I get their $500, and I leave, but I'm a shady seller, right? So what did I do? Well, I opened the camera box, I took the camera out, and I resealed the box. People will go out and buy these resealers. This isn't gonna be something you run into often. Everyday seller is not gonna do this, but there are teams of people who will open expensive items, especially electronics, iPhones and iPads, the obvious targets that happen a lot, Samsung Galaxies and Notes or whatever, Pixels. But I also saw it with laptops, I saw it with cameras, I saw it with GoPros, I saw it with you name it, I have seen it. I saw a guy who was selling, said he got, a couple of GoPro cameras for his family. Nobody wanted them. They didn't open them. They were like $400 GoPros. He took them out. Some guy gave him 300 times like 4 of them. It was $1,200. He takes the money. He goes home. Dude opens all the GoPros. They're all empty. The boxes are empty, or they put like a rock in it to imitate the weight so that you lifted up the box. It didn't feel wrong. Like it felt right. And that's what they had done. They went out and they bought themselves a resealer and resealed these boxes. If you are buying something sealed, brand new sealed, and the person doesn't want you to open it because they're like, well, if you don't buy it and you open it, it's not worth as much money. You say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. It's $300. I'm gonna hand you $150. I'm gonna take the box. I'm gonna open it up right here in front of you. And as long as everything's legit, I'll hand you the other $150. We're on our way. If it's not legitimate, I paid $150 for an empty box, I'm gonna call the police right now. Or don't even hand them any money, really. Just say, look, I'm gonna buy it. Here's the money, I'm ready to buy it. Open the box, let me make sure it's all good and fine. And then when we open it and confirm it's good, I'll hand you the money and we're all set. If they're not willing to do that, they're scamming you. Just walk away. Walk away and find somebody else. Sometimes it's better to pay an extra $30, $40 on eBay or Best Buy or Amazon rather than giving some scammer out in a parking lot your money and then getting home and finding out the box you had is sealed. Number 5 is part swapping, and this is pretty common on eBay. This is where you'll find it the most, although I've seen it on Amazon in the return pallets. Somebody will buy your used MacBook for $500. They get it in. They have a broken MacBook at home where they need a new underneath sensor. They take your MacBook apart, they pull the sensor out, they put your Mac back together, and they send you back your broken MacBook. They claim it's item not as described, it's not working, something won't work right, I just want to return and get my money back, no big deal. eBay goes, oh, hey, you sent it to them, maybe something happened, it's not working, just take it back and deal with it. You get it back and you realize they've stripped the parts out of it. They took something out of it. You realize it's been tampered with. Again, that's going to fall into that number 2, return scam, where you're going to have to fight it. You're going to have to prove that yours wasn't taken apart. You're going to have to prove as much as you can. It is not easy to prove that they took it apart and took the parts out of it. Read their feedback, read their other feedback. Sometimes people will leave it if they got scammed by that buyer as well, saying, this guy took my parts. You can fight buyer abuse. You can, again, file that IC3 and move on. That's the best way to fight the part swapping. It's hard. That one's a tough one. Number 6 is counterfeit money. Facebook Marketplace, in-person Craigslist. I have had it happen to me once in 15 years. Thankfully, it was $50. And here's the kicker. A lot of people think that people will fake $100 bills or maybe a $50 bill or even $20 bills. I sold a kid who I knew was shady when I met him. As soon as I met him, he just red flags everywhere. But he was super nice. I sold him a $50 something. I can't remember what it was. It's $50. He paid me with 5 $10 bills. No harm, no foul. Got him home. No big deal. I put him in my wallet. Everything was cool. The next day, I was going to go out and buy some stuff, and I was pulling cash out of my wallet to figure out what I needed, what I had. And when I pulled his $10 bills out, I'm like, these look really weird. They were good. They were really good. They felt right. They looked right. They passed the pen test. I found out later he got arrested. I found this out in the news months later. He got arrested and he got caught with this money in hairspray. He was hairspraying them, which tricked the pens. I got tricked on 5 $10 bills. I actually took it down to the police station and I reported it. I gave him as much information as I could. I said, are these fake? They called somebody in from the field office from the Secret Service. The Secret Service protects our money and handles it. They came in, they confirmed they were fake. I handed over, I was out $50. It is what it is. And he got caught months later, got caught doing it all over town. He was printing money and buying up all this merchandise from all over town and then selling that for legitimate money. And that's how he was making a living. It was crazy. Fake cash. The markers are good, but they're not guaranteed. The marker can help you, but also you got to look for those security strips. I didn't go through that process. It was 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I was much younger. I was, 24, 25, 26 years old, not as experienced as I am now. And I checked it a little bit, but it looked fine and it was a $10 bill. I'm like, who's faking $10 bills? A lot of people because of that mindset. Number 7, credit card chargeback. Somebody buys something from you and instead of doing the item not as described, this is eBay again, it could be Amazon, instead of doing the INAD, instead of doing the normal return, they go straight to their credit card and they say, I'm charging this back, he screwed me, he's a scammy seller when you're not. and that automatically gets them basically their money back. The credit cards are always going to take the credit card user's side. eBay will fight for you on your behalf, but generally you will not win that. If somebody wants to return something, even if you have a bad feeling about it, just have them ship it back, because if they do a chargeback and you fight it and you lose, they're going to keep the item and the money, and you're going to pay a $20 chargeback case fee for fighting it. So never fight it if you can't help it. If somebody doesn't contact you and they go straight for the chargeback, sometimes that works in your favor, where you can go to eBay and go, they didn't contact me, they didn't offer to send it back, they didn't do anything. I have had that happen, and eBay sided with me and just said, look, he's going to win the case with his credit card, but we're going to just go ahead and eat the $35, $40, whatever it was, and we'll let you keep the money. So if they don't contact you, it kind of helps you in your favor, because you can say to eBay, look, they didn't even reach out to me. I didn't have a chance to have them ship it back. I would have gave them a label. I would have had them send it back. There are people that do that just to scam, just to keep the item and the money. So chargebacks are tough to fight as well. Number 8, everybody hates this one. It's renting items, right? Like buying a dress for a wedding, wearing it, and then sending it back the next day with a red wine stain on it. How do you fight this? There's a company, 360 Security. They used to say put security tags on it, right? And even though that's not a brand new with tag, or even if the item is brand new with tags, that extra little security tag or security sticker would stop them from wearing that dress or those shoes. And they had to take that security wrap off of it, or off the shoe, or off the dress, or off the purse. They had to remove it to use it properly. Like you would, tie the purse shut with that security strap. And if they returned it without the security strap, they're now returning the item not as it was sent to them, not with the original tag, because that's included, and you take pictures of that and include it in the listing. And then you could fight their return and usually win it. And I think you still can if you do that sort of stuff. If you're somebody who sells high-end designer dresses, purses, and shoes, even jewelry, I would say, I would recommend that. And I think that's a great idea to buy security stickers and strips and tape. You can go right on eBay or Amazon and find them. Just type in security tape, tamper seal tape. You'll find it. Go look for it. I'll try to find something to link below. But you put it like right around the dress, somewhere where it's so obvious. No girl is going to buy that dress and not take it off to wear it to a wedding, right? It's going to look all ugly and tacky. They're going to remove that. And as soon as they remove it, the dress is there. So that's sort of how you fight that. Number 9, condition partial refund. So we call these fishermen. And it's people who will buy a nicely used MacBook, barely used, mint condition, near mint condition, ships to them. They paid $1,000. They'll call you up and go, hey, or message you, this isn't as good a condition as I thought. I'm going to probably return this because you lied to me. It's not so good. It's not mint. Well, if you give me $200 back, I'll keep it. They're fishing for a partial refund. My policy has always been no partial refunds. Hey, if you're not happy with the condition, box it up, ship it back, no big deal, right? Some people will say, well, you're wasting, it's cheaper just to give them the discount and not waste the shipping. If the shipping is going to be $10 to get it back and they're asking for a $200 partial, no. But if they're asking for like $20 and the shipping is going to cost me $5 or $10, I might consider it. I have a no partial refund policy, because 90% of the time when you message the person back and go, I don't get partial refund, I don't care, if you're not happy with it, box it up, send it back, they run away. They go away, you never hear from them again. Nobody wants to take the time to do it. Sometimes on expensive items, they will do it though. So you have to use your best judgment there. My policy has always been no partial refunds. I just tell them that, because you can always tell them, box it up, send it back. And then if they want to go through with that process, you can go, hey, I thought about it, here's your $10, keep it. Or if they call and go, okay, I'll send it back, you can go, okay, send it back. At least you gave yourself a chance, right? So that's the policy I've always had. And I've never had to issue a partial, because every person I said that to ran off and never came back. They were like, no, I'm not sending that back. Number 10. Number 10 is the final one. And this is the most common. You guys get it in your emails, your text messages, your whatevers, your fake Facebook messages. It's people who message you trying either through eBay or through a platform to take a transaction off the platform. They want you to pay via Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, outside of eBay, all this stuff, PayPal. None of those payment processing companies are a scam. They're all legitimate. But if you have an item on eBay or Posh or wherever it is, and somebody asks you to take it off the platform to pay for it, you are violating policy, for one, even if they're legitimate. And two, they're not legitimate. They're asking you to do that so that they can file a claim, friends and family steal your money, not ship something, vice versa. They're going to send you, I've seen people send sellers a fake email saying, hey, here's your payment confirmation. Your buyer sent you $100 through Venmo. It's not real. You never got the money. Go into your payment processing app, your Venmo, your Cash App, your PayPal, your Zelle, and check, do you see the money there? And even if you do, there are ways to get that reversed. Friends and family is very hard, but don't ever take a transaction off platform. If you're meeting somebody on Facebook Marketplace and they want to pay you Venmo, fine. But we're gonna pay Venmo in person right there in front of me, and I'm gonna watch you do it, friends and family, and I'm gonna make sure it clears into my account before I hand you over the item. If it's somebody you're shipping to, go through Facebook Marketplace's shipping so you have protection. Don't ever go off the platform that you are selling on, and ignore any emails or messages that you didn't solicit or that seem even a little bit weird. They're all fake. They're all fake, guys. And if something sends you an email or a message saying you've received money, ignore the message, ignore the email. Do not click the links. Do not click on anything. Sometimes they're just phishing scams trying to get your password. Go to your app, actually into the app, log into it, and you will see a transaction if somebody has sent you money. That goes for eBay as well. If you get an email saying you have an eBay message and it's in your email and it's from blah, 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 go to the eBay app or the website. Don't click the email. Log in directly from the app or the website, and then click on your messages, and you'll see that it's not there, and then you'll know, oh, that was fake. Happens from PayPal, happens from eBay, happens from Amazon, it happens from every site imaginable. Not to toot my own horn, but when you have a huge following like I have, I get hundreds and hundreds of emails. I get so many spam and scam emails sent to me because people think that I'm just not paying attention because I have so much, I'm just clicking so fast. I couldn't tell you how many thousands of these I delete every single month. So be very careful out there. Even if you're not somebody with a following and you're small, they will try to get you. They'll try to get somebody who's big and experienced like me. They don't care. They're just blasting it out to tens of thousands of people and playing a numbers game. All right, so that is 10, count them, 10 scams and schemes and ways to take your money and your product from you on all different platforms from all different walks of life for buyers and sellers. I'm gonna end this video with this. Buying and selling on the internet is 99.8% safe. As a buyer, you have tons of buyer protections, and as a seller, you have tons of ways to fight back against bad, scammy buyers. Don't be scared to buy, don't be scared to sell. Follow this video, follow all of the policies and procedures the websites and apps give you. Use credit cards, get your weight, get your photos, get your videos, security tags, serial numbers, pictures, model numbers, do everything you can to protect yourself, and you'll be just fine. I've done this for over 15 to 16 years full-time and almost 20 years part-time to full-time, and I've probably only been scammed legitimately once, partially a second time, for a total of a couple $100s over the course of all these years selling and buying millions of dollars of merchandise. So you're safe, guys. Don't freak out. Just do it the correct way, and don't let your greed get in the way of making common sense, clouding your judgment and making good calls. With that, enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you hit the like button if this helps you out. Bookmark this video, save it, send it out to your social media if you could. I appreciate it. And make sure you're subscribed. Come back, watch future videos. Until next time, from me and sleepy boy Milo, who's down there on the ground. Hey, buddy. We'll see you in the next video.